Hello guys and welcome back to another video for Fantasy Premier League 2024-2025 season. Some of the prices have been reviewed by the Fantasy Premier League Twitter page, so we're going to take a look at them and give my honest reaction and my honest opinion about them. We're going to start, of course, with the first, and we're going to go in chronological order. I've already seen all of the prices, so I have a general knowledge how the prices are looking, but I still want to give my thoughts and speak about them. Don't worry, these price reviews are not going to alter my Euro 2024 fantasy videos, so I will be keep dropping them daily, and maybe I will keep dropping 2 uploads per day. Maybe it's that time of the year when I start grinding even more and start preparing for all of the fantasy games that are around. So let's start with the prices. So the first price revealed was Erling Haaland for 15 million. And my initial thought was this was too much, but thinking about it now and having like 6 hours to think about it, it's not that surprising that he's so much. 16 million, 15 million, sorry, it's a great price. This makes you think, should you invest in Haaland? Should you not? Should you go with him? Should you not? Basically, you'll be left with 85 million to fill in 14 players, which is not that much, but Haaland is Haaland and he's going to be highly owned once again, and he's a captain option, especially in day 2. We're going to prepare a mock draft when we have more prices around, and we'll see how the players are going to fit. But my initial reaction was that he's too expensive, but now I believe that he is reasonably priced. He deserves to be that high, as a second season in a row he's performing very, very well. So I'm going to think he's a good option. Can we? Okay, I did something. Sorry. So next up is, can I move around with the arrows? Okay. No, it's a post by post. Okay, next up we have a defender from Leicester City, who are the newly promoted side. They were the champions. Ricardo Pereira is 4.5. It's an okay price for the player, but the issue here is that the manager is new, and maybe the system will change, maybe the players that are there will change. So I wouldn't know if Pereira is going to be first of all nailed, or if he's going to be a good option. If he's like a defensive fullback that has to do the duties like, for example, um, let's say Fuchs was so many years ago in Leicester. I know that's not a proper thing to add as a reference, but yeah, I don't want to be overly excited by that 4.5 price. It's a good price, especially for Ricardo Pereira, who has a Prem experience and is playing in the champions of the championship. But last season, champions Burnley didn't perform too well, so I'm not going to go there immediately. Next up, we have Leif Davis. This is an interesting player to target. He begins with games against Liverpool and Manchester City, so he's going to stay away from my lineup, just like Doughty was staying away from my lineup last season, and Ipswich are basically the Luton Town of last season. He as well takes a lot of, mostly all of the set pieces. He as well is very attacking, and he as well has scored some goals and provided a lot of assists. He's in the same price range as Doughty was, so basically this is the new Doughty from last season. He is going to be a good option, but once again I want to see how he is performing in the fantasy world and how he is going to manage the difficulty there and how he is going to be adapting to the playstyle of the Premier League and a lot of things else to consider. So I would be most probably looking at him, but maybe not for a starter. And the final guy that we got here is another defender, and this defender is pretty interesting. It's Bellis. He's at 4 million. I know that he is a new defender from a newly promoted side, but if he is nailed for 90 minutes and you for sure will need a 4.0 defender with a very good fixtures on the horizon for Southampton. Yeah, they were the third side that got through from the championship, but still 4.0 for a defender that is 90 minutes playing. Yeah, it's just like last season there was Baldock from Sheffield, if I'm not mistaken, but still he is going to be most probably my fifth bench option or something like that, and he's just going to be there for rotation and maybe for some day off game to be involved into the team. Next up, we have none other than the two midfielders that are position changed to forwards. This is Richarlison, 7 million. Last season, he had a very good purple patch, and at 7 million, he is going to be an interesting player. We have to see if they are going to sign a new striker or not, because they already signed Arch Gray, who's going to be a mid slash right back. I don't know where he's going to be utilized, but Richarlison is going to be utilized as a forward. They missed him for the end of last season when they needed goals. He was in an off form, then he was injured, so I didn't feel pretty confident to invest in him. But 7 million looks like a cheap price compared to the 15 of Haaland. If you get the purple patch once again from Son, with a manager that likes to play an attacking football, this can be a steal, especially if Son comes at a price around 11-12 million. This is going to be a bargain compared to Heung-min Son. And the second player here is Kai Havertz from Arsenal, 8 million for him. He is moved from mid to forward. That one pointer from a goal and a clean sheet extra is going to be missed, but is there going to be any changes in the how the points are calculated, how the things are discussed? We don't know yet. But if there are more points for forwards, Kai Havertz is going to be a pretty interesting player. We have to still see if Arsenal are going to sign a striker, a proper striker, because if they do, Havertz is going to get drop down in midfield, and he didn't perform very well there. Maybe he's going to be a shallow striker. Once again, not the best performances from him, but as a sole striker, this might be interesting. We have to monitor it. I'm not going to say that I'm going to 1000% pick Havertz, because if Saka is 9 or 10 million, maybe Saka is the better choice. But Arsenal overall already have a lot of long spells where they are only preparing different type of strategies and different players is in form, so we have to see how we're going to manage their players. But for now, a very interesting price, and I'm highly considering picking Kai Havertz as well. Going into the next players is going to be Semenyo, moved from forward to midfield. He was a very good cheap option in the forward position. Now he's a very good option in the midfield position. The issue here is that he's not nailed, so for 5.5, yeah, it's going to be tricky to fit him in, and especially when you have Callum Hudson-Odoi, who is more nailed in my opinion, and 5.5 looks like a steal for him, especially when you are most probably going to need a cheap fourth midfield option. I know that most of you are going to most probably go with three forwards like Isaac Mateta, Tony Haaland, Watkins, maybe some Liverpool player, maybe Chelsea forward, maybe Arsenal with the forward Spurs, so a lot of forwards. So you most probably going to go 3-4-3, and the cheap options will have to come in midfield. So Callum Hudson-Odoi looks like a player to be picked. Let's see how the Forest are going to prepare. Are they going to sell a lot of players? Is Morgan Gibbs-White leaving? So if he's leaving, it's not going to be too easy to fit in players. So uh, it's an okay price for sure to consider, but I'm not going to go there yet. Next up, we have King Mo. King Mo, I don't know why they don't have a picture of him with the new head trim. So I believe that 12.5 is deserved. Once again, a 200 plus point season from Salah. He's doing well. I don't know if he's on or off pens. There are some rumors that he's going to be off penalties, but I don't see why this is going to happen. Maybe the new manager will say something about it, but without any extra information, he is going to be most probably into my game week one team with that fixture run from Liverpool in the first 6 weeks. I cannot look past Mohamed Salah. I don't know how the manager plays, but I know that Mo Salah is amazing, and most probably he is going to be involved into my game week one squad. Next up, we have two goalkeepers reviewed. For me, the best bargain options from last season. First of all, is Bernd Leno 5 million. For 5 million, I might not go to him. Maybe that will be a mistake, but we need to see some 4.5 options. I believe that 4.5 options are better overall, especially for the start of the season when you don't know in which form each team is going to appear with the defensive side. For example, last season, Pickford was 4.5 at the beginning. Every one of us got him realistically into their squads, and then he was disappointment, then he was great, then he was not so great, then he was great again. So basically we have up and downs with the goalkeeper. We need to see how we're going to prepare, but Bernd Leno is an okay option. And then moving swiftly into Jordan Pickford, England number one. He's 5 million. I believe that is deserved. He was amazing last season, and I believe he was the top scorer in the goalkeepers department. 5 million rise is a completely deserved one. I like how he played. Let's see the other defenders from Everton, because if Tarkovsky and Brentwaite, if he stays, are 4.5, I believe it's going to be better to keep maybe Brentwaite or Tarkovsky, but we'll see how the other players are going to be priced. It's pretty difficult to say I'm going to pick this one and this one only with 20 prices left out, sorry. So yeah, we need to see the whole picture and we need to see how the teams are going to be set up. Next up, we have one of the biggest surprises in my opinion, but let's get to there. Pedro Neto, 6.5, I believe it's deserved. I don't know if he is going to remain in Wolves. I don't know if he is going to be fit, but last season he started pretty good. And if they get the right fixture run and the right form, he's going to be an interesting pick. Next up is Solly March, another 6.5 midfielder. Let's see the new manager where he's going to be playing him. If he's going to be playing him, a lot of unknowns in my opinion, so I wouldn't jump immediately on him. And the most controversial one from today in my opinion is Christopher Nkunku, 6.5 for a midfield. Last season he was in everyone's game week 1 teams before the injury. Now he is a million less and move to midfield. The issue with him is, first of all, he's injury prone and we don't know which type and version of Nkunku we're going to see. And number two, they have Palmer. They have signed Dewsbury Hall from Leicester. They have a lot of players, so unless he is moved to the left wing or they start playing some weird formation, Christopher Nkunku is going to be on the ones to watch, and I'm not going to be picking him immediately. Next up, we have Bruno Fernandes. This is a guy that is going to be an interesting player to target. For me, 8.5 is a justified price. Today, Fabrizio Romano said that they're signing a new striker, Zirkzee from Bologna, I believe it was, but it's a Dutch striker, so we're going to monitor him. But Bruno, the captain of the team, we're going to see how he's performing, but I believe with that price, with a favorable fixture run, he's going to be a ones to watch once again, and is going to be a very, very solid option. So I like that pricing a lot. Next up, we have two forwards. First of all is Ivan Toney, 7.5. It depends a lot if he stays in Brentford or he moves somewhere else. 7.5 for him, penalties under his belt 1000%, and a pretty good player overall. I believe that he is an interesting player to target. The issue is that Brentford at the start are looking with a very questionable fixture run, so 7.5 might be better invested elsewhere. But for me, Ivan Toney is a really, really solid player, and I wouldn't look past when they have a favorable fixture run and some good form under their belts. And the next guy here is Mateta 7.5. For me, that price is a little bit high. It's a very big rise compared to last season. And he had a purple patch at the end, of course, but now with Ulize leaving and Eze not sure about his future, I don't see that Mateta is going to be such a popular option. Havertz is 0.5 more expensive, Richarlison is 0.5 cheaper. Mateta doesn't have penalties under his belt. I know that he has been scoring a lot of goals lately, but still it feels a little bit overpriced. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. We need to look at the whole picture. So 7.5 price range is looking very nice. So between 7 and 8 you have already Havertz, Richarlison, Mateta and Tony. So those are some good strikers and those good forwards. Maybe 3-4-3 is going to be the desired formation moving into game week 1. Next up, we have two midfielders. It's Anthony Gordon, 7.5. Honestly, that feels like a steal. I'm most probably going to be picking Anthony Gordon. He was one of the most amazing guys last season. I know that there is a huge price up from last season, but still 7.5 is a price that I wouldn't say no to. We need to see Isaac's price. We need to see if the code changes or if something similar happens. But for now, Anthony Gordon feels like a steal. Now we have Jared Bowen. 7.5 feels like a good price for him as well. He can be interchangeable with Anthony Gordon, but for sure, we need to see where the new manager utilizes him. If they're going to sign a new striker, is he going to be their newest striker? I'm not sure. So a lot of question marks there, and we need to see what is going on with Paqueta, who might be leaving. So yeah, a lot of unknowns into the West Ham team, but 7.5, a pretty reasonable price for his output and for his positioning on the field so far. Next up, we're going to see the last player that has been displayed, and that is Ollie Watkins, a 9 million player. I believe that player is underpriced. He was uh, the top scorer of the forwards and only 9 million, 6 million cheaper than Erling Haaland with a favorable fixture on the start. I believe I have my second or third player already highly considering after the Southampton defender, after Mo Salah and Ollie Watkins. I feel like they are 75 to 80% into my team for game week one, the initial draft. Let's not get ahead of ourselves, but they have a good fixture on at the start. He's starting. He's most probably now on penalties with Douglas Lewis leaving. We don't have that confirmed yet, so don't get ahead of ourselves. But still, 9 million for Ollie Watkins. Come on, I feel like that's a little bit less. I was going to go for him even if he was 10 or 11, and for 9, I believe that he is going to be into the lineup. We're going to prepare, as once again mentioned, a draft when we have more prices, but for now, we're going to leave it here. That's my initial reaction. I hope you enjoy those videos. I will be most probably making another one tomorrow, and when we have more prices, we'll discuss a lot of things when we have enough players, maybe 30 more. I will do a mock draft of the players that we already have confirmed and maybe with some prices that are here and there. But yeah, this is from me. For now, drop down in the comment section what do you think about the prices. Should they be higher? Should they be lower? What prices are you most excited for? Honestly, I'm waiting most for Bukayo Saka and William Saliba. They were pretty good last season, and I believe that those Arsenal assets are going to be tricky to make the prices right. Let's see how they go. I'm most exciting for them. So let's see. For now, guys, that will be all. Like, subscribe, do all those great stuff. Stay tuned for more Euro Fantasy content and for more FPL content. It's going to be coming throughout all the summer, so stay tuned. But for now, I'll be heading out. Bye.